Greetings, and welcome back to the MCOC Encyclopedia. Today, as promised, we'll be going through the path from 6.3.1 that I recommended in my previous video with the team I recommended using. There are in fact 3 paths that I recommended in that video, depending on roster, and we'll be going through one of them, start to end, and then showing just a couple of fights from the other 2. This will allow you to get a little more insight into why I chose these teams and how I play around the nodes. This will be much more relaxed, but I still suggest you go and watch that video first if you haven't already, as it contains most of the key information around this quest. And with that, let's jump in. The path I'll be showing all of is the right-hand side path, Oscillate. You may have also noticed that I've only brought 4 champions for this path. That 5th slot is for you to bring whoever you feel like you will need. Do you want a second boss counter? A Black Bolt counter? Something else for the path, perhaps? Remember also that you have the champion selector. That is before Medusa, not before Black Bolt. Choose wisely. If you're unsure, consult the first video and that'll give you all the information. The first fight on this path is Colossus, and we'll be using Warlock. I have sped up this footage as we've got a lot of fights to get through, and for some fights there just isn't much to say. This is sort of one of them. Warlock is the best counter on my team for this Colossus, and realistically he doesn't need a specialised counter. We're using a tech champion so we can armor break him, which is also nice. This is just a big Colossus, and he's going down pretty quickly. Oscillate is slowing things down a bit, but a nice big crit at the end, and we're good to go. Our first proper problem though comes in the form of this Cable. His regeneration is very, very nasty. But, so long as we have our infection up from Warlock, he can't regenerate a single health point. You'll see there, that was a 10% regeneration before I could even get my first infection up. Interesting Easter egg here as well, that because Cable is technically infected with a techno-organic virus, and that's what Warlock deals with, you'll actually notice that the infection charges slowly ramp up. Not documented anywhere, and a nice coincidence. So, Cable's now back in his defensive stance, and so honestly he won't be doing much. You can see he's just sort of flapping his arm there, trying to block, but not really doing much. As soon as he comes back into his aggressive Fury stance, the Special 2 comes out of him, we can go in with our Special 2, get some good crits, and off we go again. And now he's back in his defensive stance, so we can't really do much here. Just mostly waiting this out. I could hit his block as well, that would help me keep my infections going, but against Cable this really isn't necessary. As long as there is 1 on him, and the Special 2 refreshes them, he can't regenerate at all, and we're absolutely fine. This Archangel fight is a bit of a filler fight, there isn't much going on here. Bane of Dumbala, the node on him, doesn't do much, really, as long as you don't get hit. We'll be using Warlock again here, simply for the class advantage. Trying to bait the Special 2, and now he's in his defensive stance, so it's less likely he's going to throw it. So we're just waiting it out for him. I just sit here holding block because he's not going to do anything. As soon as we're back in the aggressive stance, Special 2 comes flying, Special 1 here, completely unprompted. Warlock's damage is decent enough. And now we're just going to sit here and hold block, and hold block, and hold block, and hold block, and for 3/4 of that timer he just went backwards and forwards and flapped his wings. Oscillate is just an annoying node, and don't think it's you doing anything wrong if during that defensive stance they just sit there and hold block like this. It's not you, it's the AI. When they're in the aggressive stance though, they will be coming for you. But Archangel goes down without effort. Our second problem fight, Void, and Shang-Chi is going to do a very nice job here. When we have our cleanse charges on me, from the medium light medium combo, any debuffs on you are removed, and you have 4, 3, 2 or 1, depending on which order you throw your strikes in. That many cleanse charges for any future ones. Nice big Special 2 there. Trying to bait Void Special 2, but he is in his defensive stance. There we go. So we've got our cleanse charges, so we're safe. We go for the stun, we go for the unblockable. Cleanse charge instantly removes that, and a second Special 2 closes the fight out really nicely. Very, very smooth. Let's do it again. Venom here. He has his amnesia node, which means he can really stack up his buffs, but that's not a huge issue for us here, as we're going to end the fight before it hits his cap anyway. There is absolutely no need to place the slow on Venom. I'm placing it there simply to trigger my Wushu charges, more damage from the Special 2, and we like that. I am still proccing my cleanse charges just in case he does hit me. I don't want those bleeds ticking away, so we can use them as protection from that. Get the stun, and then we go for another big special 2, and lights out Venom. Our third and final Shang-Chi fight on the path is this Hulk Ragnarok. We have class advantage, very nice, but the big thing here is we can also get the slow going. When we have the slow on him, his smash attacks can't trigger. They're unstoppable. Do note he can still trigger the unblockable from the node on the smash attacks, but we don't have to worry about him being unstoppable. Very nice. Go through the block there with our unblockable, just building to another special 2, and that's lights out Hulk Ragnarok. Our third problem fight on this path, Electro. The damage back from you hitting him is extreme. It's between about 700 and 1000 damage every time you hit him. But while we're locked on with Falcon, he has no ability accuracy, so he can't trigger it. I'm rushing to my special 2 to try and get that guaranteed crit off the final hit just there. I'm going to bait his special 2, which can hit really hard. Beware of his special 2. It is a potential 1-tap. But he goes down without worries there. No damage back. Very nice. Our fourth and final problem fight on the path is Iceman, and this is Iceman with Bane. This fight will test you at how well you can control Bane. I have decided to put it back to regular speed so we can watch it properly. I don't care about my infections in this fight, but you have to balance Bane versus Oscillate, because if he is sat there in his defensive stance, you may struggle to get your opening to let you transfer Bane back across. Here, we don't quite get it on the combo, so I have to throw the special 2, even though I know it won't crit at all, but it's much better to get some less damage in and start ticking away with Bane yourself. I push him to his special 2, knowing it's quick, but I have to go for the heavy counter there. Bait the special 2, that's what I wanted to do, but didn't have the time for it. Go for the double backdraft intercept there, and then see him go for the re-parry there, just to make sure I can push it back across. Go for my special 2 to try and get in a bit of damage. Very nice. Bait his special 2, and here I go for the very slow combo, and we can just get it in on that last hit. Wondering if we're going to get a special out of him. I can see we're going to go back to aggressive stance before it goes round, so I know I'll be able to get that parry and go in here. Get the re-parry there, but we've got to keep an eye on his ice armor as well, because we won't be able to stun him while that's up. Go for a slow combo there, straight into special 2, and if that hadn't have killed, we would have transferred Bane over there as well. This fight will really test your ability to move over Bane. Back to double speed. Porting over to our mini-boss Black Bolt now, and we're going to be using Shang-Chi. So, what have we got to worry about on Black Bolt? We have aggression regeneration and Lionheart, meaning he will be regenerating a lot if you let that get out of hand, and we can't reverse it or dampen it, or Lionheart will get you there. We also have life cycle, so we've got to knock him down, and then to KO him, we have to knock him down, or have to KO him while the shield is down. So we go for a nice big special 2 here, to move him across into his corner, and to keep getting that shield down. The more you knock him down, the longer that shield gets. One thing I didn't consider going into this fight is Limber. Yes, I'm not parrying very much, but my 4th Wushu strike will trigger a stun on him, and that is eating up my Limber very, very quickly. Also, Shang-Chi crits a lot, which means Black Bolt is really building up his buffs. I don't mind taking block damage here because this is my last Shang-Chi fight. So, there we go, knock him down with the special 2, but life cycle saves him. Knock him down with the heavy, and we can see the shield is now purple. That means it is at its maximum duration. Can just about get that in there, and get the special 2 for the easy KO. If you're struggling there, remember, knock him down when you're at special 3, and then you can guarantee that. Finally, for this path, we have Medusa, and we're going to be using Symbiote Supreme. Symbiote Supreme will do extremely little until we hit our special 3, where we'll trigger all of his stances, and we can really get the bleeds rolling. I do say in the first video that bleed's the only way to get through this fight, and that is 99% true. Medusa will take damage from 2 other sources. Blocked hits, and you can actually reverse her regeneration. Watch her health here. Watch the bleeds do their thing from Symbiote Supreme. Absolutely melting away. And if she wasn't Do You Bleed, she would already be dead from those big special 2s. We're just going to close it down nicely here. The other forms of damage, as I said, you can reverse the regeneration, and you can hit a block. Explosive personality means you can't really do the block trick here though, unless you can armor breaker as well. I do not advise these strategies, but I have seen them mentioned. Okay, onto the biohazard path. I'm going to be showing you fights 1 and fights 3. This is fight 1 with Ghost versus Invisible Woman. Fight 2 is just me ghosting Ghost, so there's basically no point showing you that. It's pretty much a rinse and repeat of this fight, but slightly easier. We don't have the shield to worry about, and we don't have the invisibility from Invisible Woman to worry about either. So this fight is not much to it. It is a fairly standard Ghost fight, just with extra damage. The debuffs are keeping my health topped off because I am running willpower here. Just got to parry her to get rid of that shield. And here I'm trying to get some debuffs on me. 2 debuffs, very nice. 1, 1, 1. Nice and easy. No problem at all. You can do that for pretty much the entire path. Here I'm going to jump straight to Hulk because, again, ghosting Ghost, you've already seen that. And we're using a Mega Red. Here I'm just trying to get a bleed on me. There we go. So now I can keep my death field up for pretty much the entire fight. The bleeds do virtually 0 damage. I think it's 40 per tick on a Mega Red, so we don't have to worry about that at all. We're up to 30 spores. I try and lock them in again, but just about miss out on it. There we go, lock them in at 30 with the degen. And before Hulk even reaches his 15 Furies and goes unstoppable, the fight's done. A Mega Red does a very good job there. Finally, the left-hand path, Delirium and Dismay. If you use robots or psychically shielded champions, we've seen enough, Warlock, I'll go in for Ultron. If you use those 2 champions, you can see Immune pops up at the start of the fight. You do not have to worry about reverse controls at all. You want to look out for that immune when you come in. That means they're immune to the reverse controls. You don't have to worry. I try and get Diablo to play into my Evade here for an extra charge. He doesn't do it. But so we're building some bleeds here. But this is just a fairly standard Warlock Ultron fight. Just don't get hit. There we go. We've got 4 bleeds on him now. 5 bleeds. They're ticking him down very nicely. Go for my special one, Cauterize. And that's enough damage to close him out. Up next we've got Guillotine, and I'm going to be using Juggernaut here to show 1 robot and 1 psychically shielded champion. Juggernaut does sort of have the unstoppables on him, but don't confuse getting hit and getting hit while you're unstoppable. If you get hit, even if you don't get knocked around, you will still take the dismay damage. Massive closeout from Juggernaut there, some really excellent damage. And I have actually included the Magik fight here as well, because this fight has Mystic Wrath, which means Magik will have 125% extra attack. Well, Mystic champions will have 125% extra attack, which includes Juggernaut. The limbo damage is really nasty, but Juggernaut absolutely whacks her, and very, very simple and easy to close out. So there you go. Everything you need to know to beat 6.3.1. Up next, we have 6.3.2, and our next Defender video will be Wolverine Weapon X. Thank you to everyone who voted in that poll. Thank you, and I will see you next time.